All right. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. And very happy to see you again after 2 weeks of canceling classes. But, I always post it on Facebook where I was, and I really, really apologize for stopping the class for 2 weeks. So, anyway, welcome back to 1 Minute Grammar. And today is video number 72. Warning, this is an advanced grammar video. But as usual, I will make things very easy for you so that even if you were not at this level, you will still understand, today's class. So we're talking about verbs with two objects today, and I posted the two videos. What am I saying? I posted the two questions on Facebook. That was 2 weeks ago, and I posted them again today. So hopefully by now you do have the questions. You do have the answers. So let's see. People on Facebook, if you do have the answers, please write them down. And Mr. Ali, my guest here on Zoom, if you do have the question, the answer, please go ahead.
Oh, okay, Mr. Muhammad.
Okay, you're going to answer, or shall
Okay,
I?
Mr. Muhammad, I think A is correct. C and D.
Okay.
Okay, that's the right. These are the right sentence, I think.
Okay, so my friend here is saying A, B, and C are correct.
C, yes.
A, B, C are correct. So D and E are wrong.
I think D is right.
D is right. So
Yeah.
which ones are wrong?
Let me say E is wrong.
E is wrong. Okay.
Yes.
Anything else?
And B.
B and E are wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell us why? Or
for E, I think we can say he carried us the cases. I think he carried the cases for us.
Okay, that's a correction. And how
Yes.
about B?
B, I pushed Joan plate of sandwich. I think it's right also.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, right. Many times people at the advanced level, like yourself, mashallah, they get the answers. And many of my friends as well from the States and from all over the globe, really, they do get the right answers, but they can't tell why. It's just your gut feeling. All right. So here in this class, I always tell you why things are what they are. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning. I will tell you the story of verbs with two objects so that if you are at the low level, then I will bring you up to the advanced level tonight. Okay, so here is the story. Let's start from the beginning. We're talking about verbs with two objects. There are verbs in English, like in many other languages as well, that take two objects. One of them is called the direct object, and the other one is called the indirect object. Now, try to remember this. The direct object is what you touch first. So I give the pencil to my friend. Okay, so the pencil, because I touched the pencil first, I cannot give my friend anything unless I touch this first. So this is the direct object because it received the verb directly. All right, that action. So the thing is usually the direct object, and the person is the indirect object. So many verbs can have two objects, usually a person and a thing. This often happens with verbs that are used to talk about communicating things or transferring things from one person to another, or doing things for somebody. Now, some of these verbs are like give, like I give the pencil to my friend, or I give my friend the pencil. Sell, teach, write, pay, cost. There are many of them, and I'll tell you where to read from my book after we finish the video or towards the end. Now, the thing that is given or sent or whatever is called the direct object, as I said, and the person who receives it is called the indirect object. Now, now listen to this. The rule is most often, like 70-80% of the cases, we use the indirect object first. I'll say this again. In most cases, we use the indirect object first. So it's rare that we say, I gave the pencil to my friend. We say, I give my friend the pencil. I give my friend is the indirect object. I give my friend the pencil. Now, listen, he built the children a tree house. Could you bring me the paper? So as you can see, he built the children, indirect object, and then a tree house, the direct object. He built the children a tree house. And the other example, could you bring me, that's the indirect object, the paper. So that's the direct object. Could you bring me the paper? Now, so far we haven't really answered the question yet, but here is the meat and potatoes really. Now listen to this. Not all verbs can be used like this. Not all verbs can have an indirect object directly after them and then a direct object later on. This is not possible with some verbs. Let me give you an example. The verb donate. With the verb donate, you cannot use an indirect object and then a direct object. Let me give you the example and you will get it. They donated money to the museum. Now, money, is it direct or indirect? Of course, it's direct because this is what you touch first, the money. All right. Donate is like give for free. That's the meaning of the word donate. Now, they donated money. Now, notice that here, the direct object came after the verb donate. Again, donate is a verb that takes two objects. The rule is with a verb that has two objects, use an indirect object and then use the direct object. But not with all verbs. Donate is one of the verbs that doesn't follow the rule. So after the verb donate, you have to use the direct object and then the indirect object. And this is contrary to the rule. This is different from the rule. So say, they donated money to the museum. Don't say, they donated the museum money. I'll say that again. They donated money to the museum, not they donated the museum money. So the rule is most verbs that take two verbs after them, that take two objects after them, we use the indirect object and then the direct object. But some verbs take the direct object and then the indirect object. What are those verbs? We can name them now. The verb donate, the verb push, the verb carry, the verb explain, suggest, and describe. I'll say them again if you want to write them, or you can watch the video again later on. Donate, push, carry, explain, suggest, and describe. These are some of the verbs that don't follow the rule. All right, now we got the answer. So as my friend said, I offered John the plate of sandwiches. So offered, and then John, the indirect object. So this follows the rule. That's fine. Now look at the verb push. Push is one of the verb that doesn't follow the rule. So it'd be wrong to use what? The indirect object after it. So you have to use the direct object and then the indirect object. This is okay. Read me and extract. That's fine. Now, can you teach her? That's fine. Now, he carried us the cases. Carry. Carry is one of those verbs that are, troublemakers. So the wrong answers are, I pushed John the plate of sandwiches. It should be, Mr. Ali. Let's see Facebook. Let's see if people are following. Okay. You're most welcome. Al Haitham. Yes, I pushed the plate of sandwiches to
To
John.
John. Yes.
Exactly. And here we should say he carried the
The
cases.
cases
Yes, the
for,
cases
for
for
us.
us
Yeah.
to the taxi. So, what was this question about? This question was about verbs that take two objects. The rule, general rule, 80% to 90% of the time is you use the indirect object and then use the direct object. But with these verbs here and the other verbs that I talked about, you have to use the direct object first and then the indirect object. All right, so hopefully by then you got it. And we'll move on to the second question. And I chose you something close. This is about verbs that take two objects too. So let's see if you can get this one. Okay, so did you answer it? Let me see on Facebook if people did answer this. Come on, people on Facebook, join me on Zoom. Yes, it is advanced, but Muhammad, I explain it in an easy way that will make you understand. So come on Zoom and don't be scared. I will make it easy for you. All right. So Ali, did you answer this question or no?
I'm trying, Mr. Muhammad.
Okay, because I had posted out on Facebook, so I
Yeah.
thought that, but
Yeah.
then you would have answered it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Now, look at this, guys. Are the bold-faced words in the replies right or wrong? So the replies are here. This punctuation mark marks, speaker A and speaker B. So somebody saying, pay him the money. And the other person said, I can't pay him. I've got no money. And here, somebody saying, sing her a song. I can sing her. I've got a terrible voice. And then, play us the CD you bought. I can't play you. My speakers aren't working. Okay, so which ones are correct? How about pay him, sing her, play
I
you?
think yes. I think A is correct.
Is correct, okay?
Yes. I think B is also correct,
Hmm.
but I think C is incorrect.
Okay. Now, if you, mashallah, you are at an advanced level and you answer this, then I might as well just explain now what the answer is, and then I will show you the answers. So I will explain the grammar rule to you, and then I will show you the answers. So again, we're talking about verbs that take two objects after them. Now, some verbs can be followed by a direct object only. Some verbs can be followed by an indirect object only. And some verbs can be followed by both a direct object and an indirect object. Let me give you an example. Look at the verb ask, for example. You can say I asked John, and the meaning is correct. Or you can say I asked a question, and the meaning is correct. Or you can actually use both an indirect object and a direct object. So you can say, I asked John a question, and the meaning is correct. So again, asked is a verb that can be followed by an indirect object, a direct object, or both. Now, other verbs like this are the verbs teach, tell, pay, show, sing, play, write. So with these verbs, you can use one of the two objects or both. It doesn't matter. I'll say them again. Teach, tell, pay, show, sing, play, write. Now, note. Here's a very important thing. Notice, when these verbs, sing, play, and write, have no direct object. Have no direct object means there is nothing. There is a person, but there is nothing, like nothing in the sentence. Like there is no direct object. Remember what we said? We said the direct object is the thing. So these verbs, sing, play, and write, when they have no direct object, we must put the verb to before the indirect object. Let me give you the example, and then I'll read the rule again and promise you will understand. So listen to this. Sing her a song. That's absolutely fine. Why? Because we have here both her, and that is the indirect object, and then we have a song, which is the direct object. So that's fine. Sing her a song. But what if we want to drop the direct object, the word song? What if we want to drop it? What's going to happen? We have to use the word to. Like this, sing to her. You can't say sing her. You have to say what? Sing to her. So again, sing her a song, sing to her. So because you dropped the direct object, you cannot use an indirect object without using the preposition to. I'll give you another example. Write me a letter. So write me, that's the indirect object. A letter, that's a direct object. So that's fine. What if we want to drop the word a letter? So what do we say? Write me or write to me? We say write to me. Why? Because these three verbs, sing, play, and write, if they don't have a direct object, then we have to use the preposition to before the indirect object.
So,
Now, yes, go ahead. Ask, please.
okay, Mr. Muhammad.
Yes.
Can't we say write me?
In standard English, no. Of course you can say.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to say that, not to confuse
Yes.
the people. You can say, of course, you can say, hey, write me when you get home. Yes. But this is not standard, right? This would be informal. But the rule is you have to say write to me. Write to me when you get home, not write me when you get home.
When we don't have the direct object.
Direct object. When we don't have the direct object, we must use the preposition to. Okay, now we can look at these. So pay him. Now remember the three verbs that must take a preposition before the indirect object, are sing, play, and write. So pay him, I can pay him, yes. But how about sing her? No. I can sing
to her.
To her. And how about here? I can play you. What do we say? I can't play to you.
To you?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, again, this is the only one possible because the verbs sing, play, and write, when they don't have the thing, when they don't have the direct object, we must use a preposition before the indirect object after them. So the two questions that we talked about today, both of them were on verbs with two objects. What we said in the first one is that the rule, let me sum up everything that we said. I know the video is going to be a bit long, but it's worth it. The rule is we use those verbs that have two objects, and all of us know them, like teach and sell and play and all of that. We use them, and then we use the indirect object and then the direct object. So that's the rule, right? And then there are some verbs, like these verbs, push and carry, that don't accept this rule. You have to use the direct object and then the indirect object. And the second one is when these verbs, sing, play, and write, when they don't have a direct object, we must use the preposition to before their indirect object. So that was the grammar that we studied, that I have for you tonight. And somebody posted something. Is that you, Sally? What's B saying to her? Okay. All right, you're answering. Sorry, I didn't see the answer then. All right, so if you want to learn more about this grammar, then you might want to check this book here, third edition. section 610, 1, 6, and 7. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. If you like the video, then you have 3 options actually. You have to like this video, you have to share this video, or you have to write a comment. And if you really, really like the video, then do all 3. All right. Thank you very much. That's all what I have for you tonight. And tomorrow, inshallah, we have 1-minute idioms. After tomorrow, we have 1-minute collocation. It's going to be a revision session. So I'm going to post what you have to study for the revision session. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow, 9 o'clock Mecca time. Thank you very much for being here with me, Mr. Ali, and thank you everybody for watching. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.